is not that which you see while sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep. Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel Just Explore. This is Vamsi Krishna and I am here to give you a review of one of the best-selling book, The Alchemist. We all see dreams, sometimes a fantasy ones that can never come true, and sometimes a nightmare that we never want it to come true. The book Alchemist talks about a dream, but a different kind. This is a dream of a young and adventurous shepherd that did not let him sleep. Without any further delay, let us get into the video. Here is a small brief of the book. A recurring dream troubles a young and adventurous shepherd named Santiago. He has a dream every time he sleeps under sycamore tree that grows out of the ruins of a church. During the dream, a kid repeatedly tells Santiago to seek treasure which is at the foot of an Egyptian pyramids. To interpret his dream, Santiago meets a gypsy woman, and to his surprise, she also suggests him to go to Egypt. A strange old man who claims to be king of Salem echoes Gypsy's advice and tells Santiago that it is his personal legend to journey to the pyramids. King of Salem convinces Santiago to sell his flock and set his course to Tangier. When Santiago reaches Tangier, a thief will mislead him and robs him, forcing him to find work with a local crystal merchant. The kind and conservative merchant teaches Santiago several lessons, and in exchange, Santiago encourages the merchant to take risks with his businesses. Fortunately, the risk pays off and Santiago becomes rich within a year. Santiago decides to cash his earnings and pursue his quest to find treasure at the pyramids. He joins a caravan crossing the Sahara Desert towards Egypt and meets an Englishman who wants to become an alchemist. He learns a lot from the Englishman during the journey. He learns that the secret of alchemy is written on the stone called Emerald Tablet. The ultimate creation of alchemy is the masterwork which consists of a stone called Philosopher's Stone, which can turn lead into gold, and a liquid called Elixir of Life that can cure all ills. Santiago learns the Englishman who wants to become an alchemist is traveling with the caravan to Saharan oasis of Al Fayoum, where a powerful 200-year-old alchemist resides. The Englishman plans to ask the alchemist the secret of his trade. As it turns out, the caravan must make an extended stop in Al Fayoum to avoid increasingly violent tribal wars that taking place in the desert. At Al Fayoum, Santiago falls in love with Fatima, who resides at the oasis. During a walk in the desert, Santiago witnesses an omen, which is a sign that foreshadows an attack on the historically neutral oasis. He warns the tribal chieftains of the attack, and as a result, Al Fayoum successfully protects itself against the assault. The alchemist gets to know about Santiago's vision and invites Santiago on a trip into the desert, during which he teaches Santiago about the importance of pursuing his personal legend and listening to his heart. He convinces Santiago to leave his love and the caravan for the time to finish his journey to the pyramids, and he offers to accompany Santiago on his quest of searching for his personal legend. While the alchemist and Santiago continue through the desert, the alchemist shares much of his wisdom about the soul of the world. As they are a few days away from the pyramids, a tribe of Arab soldiers captures them. In exchange for his life and the life of Santiago, the alchemist hands over all of Santiago's money to the tribe and tells the soldiers that Santiago is a powerful alchemist who will turn into wind within 3 days. Santiago feels frightened because he has no idea how to turn into the wind. And over the next 3 days, he understands the desert. On the third day, he communicates to the wind and the sun and gently persuades them to help him create a tremendous sandstorm. Santiago disappears at the height of the storm and reappears at the other side of the camp. The tribesmen, awed by the power of the storm and by Santiago's ability, let him and the alchemist go free. The alchemist continues to travel with Santiago as far as a Coptic monastery, which is several hours from the pyramids. There, he demonstrates to Santiago his ability to turn lead into gold using the Philosopher's Stone. He gives the gold to Santiago and sends him off. As Santiago begins digging for the treasure at the foot of the pyramids, 2 men try to mug him. When Santiago speaks to them about his dream, they assume he must have no money and let him live. Before leaving, one of the men tries to illustrate the worthlessness of dreams by telling Santiago about his own dream. This dream revolves around a treasure buried in an abandoned church in Spain where a sycamore tree grows. The church is the same one in which Santiago had his original dream. Santiago's quest, united with the magical realism genre, might leave the reader with questions. Did Santiago truly summon the sandstorm that led to his escape in the desert, or was it just a coincidence? Did he find his treasure? Did he get back to Fatima at the end? To know answers and to completely understand the book, I suggest you read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The link of the book from Amazon is in the description below. The story of Santiago is a real and slightly magical representation of the transforming power of dreams and the importance of listening to our hearts. Here is what I have learned from reading The Alchemist. It is one of those books which you have likely heard of, but maybe haven't gotten around to read it. Your friend might have recommended you to read that book a year ago. It is a simple book, yet its powerful meaning can't be fully felt until you read it yourself. This is a book that deeply impacts its readers and sometimes in life-changing ways. So how can one book be so transformative? I think it is because whatever you are going through, whatever you are working towards, or whatever you are seeking to find, The Alchemist has a universal message that will meet you wherever you are. Here is what I learned about life and living it on my own terms from reading The Alchemist. Fear of failure. How many times in life do we take the safer route? Not because we want to, but because we feel like we have to. Because we are afraid of what might happen if we don't. What will people think if we fail? What if everything falls apart? What if we change our minds? These are the inner voices that keep us small and away from pursuing our dreams, or in the words of author or personal legends. In The Alchemist, Santiago is shown what can happen when people abandon their personal legends and simply go through the motions of life. This warning is illustrated through the character of a crystal merchant, whom Santiago meets early in his journey. The crystal merchant is a kind, religious man who has dreams of making the pilgrimage to Mecca. We quickly learn, however, that the merchant will likely never fulfill his personal legend. He has become set in his ways, is terrified of change, and despite feeling disappointed with where he is in life, still won't step out of the comfort zone of his little crystal shop in Tangier. What is most striking about this character is that from outside, his life doesn't seem all that bad. One might look at his life from a distance and think he is a successful man. It is only when we get to know him better and begin to understand his deep dissatisfaction and frustration with his life that we realize his story serves a cautionary tale. For me, This character showed me how I often let fear get in the way of trying new things, making changes, or putting myself out there. The Crystal Merchant story reminded me that even when I am feeling stuck, I never truly am. Acknowledging my fear and choosing courage and love instead can be challenging. But it is always one decision away. Trust your journey and all its detours. When you want something, all the universe unites in helping you to achieve it. Throughout Santiago's journey, he makes a lot of unplanned stops. Some of these stops are only for a night or two, others last for years. He also runs into many obstacles that force him to outbreak on his progress forward. One step forward, two steps backward seems to be an applicable phrase for his trajectory towards attaining his personal legend. As much as I wanted Santiago to find a straight and narrow route for fulfilling his dreams and goals, I knew that his windy path was meant to be a lesson and a metaphor for life. The Alchemist showed me that when you trust and surrender to your own wild, messy, non-linear journey, good things happen. No one's path towards their legend is straight, narrow, or without obstacles. It is in overcoming these obstacles and being open to the detours and pit stops where the real magic can occur. We are all connected. Everything happens for a reason. One of the biggest themes in The Alchemist is the interconnectedness of all things, living and even non-living. The unity is represented by what author refers to as the soul of the world, that which binds all of nature together in a same spiritual essence and purpose. In addition to learning to tap into the soul of the world, Santiago is taught that the only way he can hope to achieve his legend is by listening to the nature, trusting in forces greater than himself, and speaking, as it is referred to in the novel, the common language of the world. It is these spiritual practices that seem to help carry Santiago forward when everything else has failed, or when the obstacles seem to be too powerful to overcome. What this aspect of the book showed me is that even when things in life feel meaningless, frustrating, or hopeless, there is always a larger purpose for whatever is going on. Thinking about the soul of the world reminds me that guidance is always there. All we have to do is seek it. This is what I have learned from reading The Alchemist. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, comment your views, share it with your friends. And for more book reviews like this, please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive a notification whenever we upload a new video. Thank you. This is Vamsi Krishna signing off.